All right, we're back, episode 7. We actually have some hobby news, and for all you knuckleheads and basement dwellers, you'll love this. It's a negative story. People are saying one of the most elaborate scamming stories in the history, like scamming operations in the history of the hobby. Somebody in Indiana apparently has been just replicating autographs, memorabilia, their own certificates, their own hologram stickers, to the tune of what he claims hundreds of millions of dollars. And then the guy politely killed himself. Or maybe impolitely. I'm not sure how polite it was when he did it. And it's left the hobby asking questions. I will say we're going to talk about that to open, just as every other dummy has. There will be a lot of speculation and a lot of nonsense. I'll see you in a second. Biggest news of the day, though, not that we want to go against this $1 billion story. Danny and Muhammad, more light and looking good back from Alaska. And Joe, also more lighting.
Yeah, I got jealous when I saw his camera.
You were like, no, Casper's got nothing on me. I'm going to lighten this thing up.
How can Joe get any lighter?
You can't even see the white of his eyes. It's just a little beady brown piece swirling around. What is Emily? Is Emily there? Does she have anything to say about the lighting or no?
Not yet.
Em?
Not yet.
Okay.
She's going to let it play out.
You're just all headband. That's all we can say.
That's right. So, hey, let me give this just a quick overview, then I want you guys' reaction to this thing, because obviously this has been the biggest story for the past week. I will say the one thing that's irritating, there are no actual sources aside from what we're seeing. But what this guy, Brett Lemieux, claims is he's been doing this for years. It's upwards of $1 billion in resale. He quoted like Mahomes, Brady, a lot of like the biggest names in sports. He would go to and get signings done. He would have a couple authentic and then just 100x the counterfeit ones around it. And they would produce their own holograms, their own stickers. And the majority of this ran through MrManCave.com, which, by the way, still open right now. If you want to go and order some stuff, you still can, which is exciting. The shipping rates kind of stink. And then, Maddie wrote it up on SI.com for us this week, SI.com/collectibles, so we don't get those other creeps upset. I am curious what your takes are on this story, just overall. Then we can dig into some of the minutia.
Well, I didn't know if there was any opportunity to buy into Mr. Man Cave right now as an investor, but if there is, might be a little interesting.
Are there many Brady autos left over after the FBI raid?
There we go.
Oh, yeah, stand up, Joe. Can we see that shirt? Yeah,
well,
give
let
the
me see if I
people
can
what they
stand
want.
up.
It's perfect for this story.
It's not. I'm in a tight situation.
Hawking
here,
fakes.
Yeah, with lukewarm takes underneath. Not real spicy takes, but another paying homage to Terry. Maybe I can get this the original TB. Maybe I can get it signed in person. But I guess I'm not shocked. We live in a world where you have the technology to do this stuff at your fingertips, and so I guess I don't really understand why anyone would be shocked with this. My confusion is, how are these numbers getting into their database?
So, I guess I'm curious about that. You say numbers in the database. Like, if you bought one of these items with a fake hologram, did they just replicate a number that was like a real? I see. That was the impression I was under. You go and get one signed. It gets authenticated by Steiner, let's say, because they were one of the people named. Hey, it's Steiner used to be SE and then the serial number. It ends in 54. Are you just copying the exact numbering on that, and that's why it brings you back?
Potentially. Well, I know Steve Grad did a little thing on Twitter about they were faking the actual stickers itself.
Right.
And he kind of talked about how if they're on a roll, you can't rub your finger off on them, but if it's on a sheet, they can kind of rub off. But I feel like that would be very noticeable right away.
For memorabilia like this, most people don't know that much about COAs or anything else. They want an autographed Brady jersey or Mahomes or whoever it is. That's what they're buying. I would say that most.
You don't think people are paying attention to the COA when they buy that?
No,
not the general public. And
what?
Joe, yeah.
Really? That's okay. That's wild to me.
No, and have you ever? So I would challenge you, both of you, and then anyone out in the audience, when you go into a restaurant and you look at the stuff on the walls.
Hey, Casper, you can acknowledge the joke. I'm back now, baby.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I know you guys were used to ruling the show and doing it. Trust me, I heard all about it. Ruling the show.
The best part is having 1/3 of our viewers back. We have 1/3 of our viewers back. We didn't quite hit that milestone, but we're back.
13 viewers to 21 this week, baby.
Mike, go into your local Applebee's, okay? I want you to look at some of the memorabilia on the wall there. There was a big thing out here in Arizona a couple years back where they were doing auctions for charity.
At Applebee's?
anywhere. Like you could get the stuff anywhere. If you've gone to any sporting event, there's always like some sort of auction, and people think they're buying real autographs where it is 100% a facsimile. Like,
Okay, so you know what's
scripted
great?
on there.
I'll tell you this, I had not thought of that because my initial reaction, and then I will shut up for a second, when he said the amount, 4 to 5 million items, I thought there's no way. There's no way a site is doing that kind of volume, and I've never heard of them. Had you guys ever heard of the site before this week?
Mr. Man Cave?
Right.
No.
I got the idea they were wholesaling.
Okay, but even still, a company
No,
have you
never
ever heard of
them.
no, and the majority of people I spoke to have never heard of this stuff. So it just made me think, first of all, and again, a guy who spends his time defrauding people and killing himself, I don't take at his word entirely. I know, we have to. And by the way, if anybody expresses sympathy here, you're off the show. I'll tell you that. You want to feel sorry for his family? I no problem. But I cannot read any more influencers being like, "Hey, remember the important thing: a life."
But have you heard of Steiner?
Yeah, for years. Yep.
Professional wrestler.
Yeah, the brothers. They were brothers, I think.
Steiner brothers.
But I guess that my point is what you just said. I had not like Danny saying the CO doesn't matter seemed ridiculous to me. Joe, but what you're saying actually makes sense now. I didn't think about that. You are right. There's a billion. By the way, Applebee's, me and my wife's spot when we were dating, it closed down like 2010. Unfortunately, that parking lot. Hello, the Asian chicken wrap, phenomenal. A couple of French fries. I don't want to brag about it. Anyways, I had not even thought of that because my whole thing was who is buying stuff with crappy certs. But you're right. If you go into Applebee's or I okay, so maybe that's where they're moving that.
Not even that. It's every man cave. It's every office wall. I mean, if you we all know people that have it in their basement. Yeah, and they're not going online and checking cert numbers.
I guess I didn't even think about that because my thought would be you're going to spend a Brady jersey's $2,500. You don't want to know what you're buying. But I guess if you're not in the world, you don't even consider fraud.
So in the shop, we've actually had opportunities where customers have come back. The customers that you're referring to, Mike, that really do care about the cert, and the cert number doesn't match up, and that happens more than you would think.
You guys are selling it out of the shop. Are you guys not checking it?
It's a Fanatics. It came directly from Fanatics.
You guys bought it directly from Fanatics, and the numbers. How does that? So how do you I go in and buy a Brady jersey?
We call our rep and we shoot a message over to the rep. And
speaking of shoot, I'm going to shoot the dogs. I apologize.
Yeah, it's mysteriously corrected right then and there and put in the. And I say mysteriously because obviously we have JSA that comes into the shop and they do certing, and it's like a spreadsheet. And so if a number is off and you're doing 20 items, there's 19 items that are off too. I think you just realized one of those helmets in the back may.
I did hear. Wait, ask him if he checked the cert on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the shop, how many people check the cert? What percentage?
I would say
1%
that check prior to purchasing,
or even afterwards.
Maybe 10%. Maybe 10%. I would give that number. But I would say even the people that are most conscious of it are not checking it upon, like, maybe the question will come up of who certed the item. That's what will come up. Dude, that's the kind of outburst that I love. That needs to stay in the show.
You can leave it. I like my dogs more than anybody in the world, except for my wife and kids.
Newspaper.
Oh, just go outside. There is no reason to be wrestling in my kitchen.
So we were talking about, like, Danny asked, like, what the percentage of people that actually check the cert, and I said, honestly, no one checks it prior to purchase. You may have a question of like, oh, who's it certed by, or this and that. No, because I mean, we prominently display we're a certified Fanatics memorabilia dealer. We're a diamond dealer for Upper Deck. Like, I mean, that should carry some weight. Honestly, it should carry weight, especially for people who are really looking at that type of product. But no, it's an after the fact situation, and we have JSA on site occasionally to cert items, and seeing that process and even having an understanding of how it works. Like, do you guys know if there is a autograph in a question? Do you know how they kind of go through the process of if it's authentic or not?
Let's assume we don't.
Okay, so Mike, I'll assume for your
demographic here.
Yeah. So here they send out a picture of it, and then they give thumbs up, and it's a rating of points. So some people could say, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. Some people will give it a 4 out of 5, and it has to be. I think essentially it has to be a 3 or better on this average. Am I right, Danny? It's like it's a number scale. I know that's what JSA does, and so there are people out of 5 people, there may be 2 that give an opinion of less than authentic in their opinion, and it still can pass.
Gio, the autographs behind you, did you get those or did you check certs?
So I check I check cert. So the Griffey helmet, for example, I bought directly from Fanatics. Cert matches up. The Brady helmet is a TriStar with the old school letter and the sticker on it. Those numbers match each other and match the website. The Bird Magic was also Fanatics, right off their website. The Griffey bat I bought in Chicago years ago, but I do, as soon as I'm looking at something like that one, I bought at a dealer's table in Chicago. It had the inscription. My big thing is always, though, I check the cert, I go on, and then I actually check the picture. Like, what is the autograph that's displayed? What item does that cert take me to? And then I go and I do, like, I'm kind of meticulous. I try to study the autograph to the best of my ability. Does it match what's on the item that it says? So I try to be pretty diligent about that stuff. I'll say, like, the Bill Russell, you can't see it, it's on the wall in front of me. I bought that 2 or 3 years ago at the National. It's a Bill Russell Wilt Chamberlain dual auto, which was a huge grail piece for me. It's certed by 2 different people because it was signed at 2 different times. And I asked the guy, I was like, can I bring this around for a little bit and show it? Like, and he knew the podcast at the time. So I was like, hey, I'm not trying to take you. You hold the money, I hold the piece, but I want to come back. I want to ask some people. And I did. I went around, I met my buddy from PSA and I checked the certs because I'd never seen an item certed like that because I don't buy a ton of dual autograph items, but I'm pretty meticulous. That's why I guess I'm surprised other people aren't as meticulous about it, but it does make sense, I guess.
I guess also too, if you think about it, think about the names that are the prominent names that are coming up in this entire bust. You're not getting like the old players per se, and they said it's been going on since the mid '90s. So I mean, they probably found that secret recipe with the auto pen with the new guys. But
sure,
but
you
this
go back,
isn't new either. I mean,
no.
Operation Bullpen was huge.
Hey, can you give like a 30-second synopsis of what that? I don't actually know what that is, aside from I've heard it forever as
San
the
Diego.
But yes.
Basically, every Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio autograph on the market is considered fake. It's almost impossible to get those to pass cert. They were just forgeries. It was a huge forgery scam, and the FBI got involved, and it was called Operation Bullpen. It was the FBI name.
Sheesh. Okay. When was that, by the way? In the 90s?
80s or 90s. Yeah, it was probably the 90s when they got busted, but it was going on through the 80s.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
And it was autographs again. There's more autograph forgeries in the hobby by far than anything with cards. And I wanted to touch on that also. Do you guys trust cards more now for one card autos?
I mean, Leaf went through it with the Ari Lehman stuff for Pop Century. I mean, the stickers, I think you could have the same issue if it's not an on-card auto.
I gotta jump again, guys. Literally, my Topps Chrome delivery is coming, and I gotta go sign for it. I am so sorry. I love you all.
So many crates.
There I'm gonna mute, and you guys are killing it.
Third of our viewers gone.
Right.
That the life of a breaker, Danny. The life of a breaker with a real big product coming out. Just insane.
Should we announce now that if you get in touch with Mike, he'll give you a box?
Not with this product. Not with this product. Not where that product is trending.
Feel free to send him as many comments as you want, and feel free to ask for as many boxes as you want.
You know, what's great is Mike has the product in hand 2 days before the release. So I know he's a little behind the 8 ball as far as like GameStop and Lids, who have already had it on their shelves, and some of the biggest hits are coming out of it. But
who are those stores owned by?
Fanaticals?
Something like that. And I'm not sure of their name. I've heard about them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they own GameStop, do they?
No, I think that's PSA got involved in part ownership.
Okay. Yeah.
Not that they have any pull in the hobby, by the way.
Janie, going back to your discussion about the Operation Bullpen, if we go even further back, how many items are held by collectors that, in some opinion, might be a clubhouse signature?
Clubhouse signature wives, secretaries, other players used to do it for money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these. And one of the challenges is players' autographs change over time. So you have to figure out when that player signed it, when they signed it, what their autograph looked like at the time, and then try to match that up. And there's a database they use. But as people get older, their signatures change. Or when they sign 1,000 of something, it might look different than when they sign one of something. So that's why forgery can come into play, because there is not one exemplar per player, if that makes sense.
Do you think that's why the newer age athletes now just do like a letter with a circle around it?
No, I think that's lazy.
Is that a whole nother rabbit hole of why we don't teach cursive in
Yes,
elementary? And yeah,
because now you're just talking to your phone. Yeah, I mean,
well, your phone, you don't need to use your phone to sign a check, but people really don't use checks anymore either. So
get off my lawn, Joe.
I know. Gosh. I mean,
Okay.
Kenny, this has been huge. It's been huge this past week. We're a huge memorabilia store. That's something that we have prominent displays in our shop. Signed guitar picks, signed Funko Pops, you name it, like toys, all that kind of stuff. So it's odd because we're not a mall. We're not a mall memorabilia shop, and if you know what I mean by that. We're in a strip mall. We have like the stuff that collectors are really looking for, but people coming off the streets, we haven't really heard. I didn't hear a lot of rumbling last week about like the memorabilia or even those type of questions. It really hasn't bubbled up.
Did
But
it scare you guys more than your customers have reacted?
No, not necessarily, because a lot of the stuff that we have, uh, we have it sorted in house. Like, so we have a few higher end pieces, but it like the pieces are being referenced, like the Mahomes, the Brady's, and that kind of stuff. If if you have them in your shop sitting there, you just have them either priced ridiculous or you were going to keep them forever. Um, if you're trying to constantly move product, if you have it priced reasonably, it's not sitting on your shelf. Like we've had all those items. We've gone through multiples of those items. We just don't have them anymore. But what we do have is specialty pieces because in some cases we have runners that go out in different areas and will get pieces for us signed. Like we had an entire original Roseanne cast on a 14 by or 11 by 14. Pieces like that prior to him passing, like Robin Williams signed Mrs. Doubtfire 8 by 10.
Thank you for clearing up before he passed out.
Yeah.
By the way, Robin Williams' birthday was, I think, yesterday.
Another guy gone
or today. Yeah, actually, that's coincidence. Thank you, Microsoft, for reminding me. Do we have Gio back?
Just in time to do that giveaway for Topps Chrome. Mike, we're ready for it. Go ahead and pick that name out of the hat that you're giving a case of jumbos to. This is unreal.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh.
Drum roll. Michael
No
Gioseffi. What a treat.
Well, we were just talking about it, Mike, too. It's great. I know you're probably a little upset because you are getting your allocation late. You're going to get 2 days prior to release, but late because Lids and GameStop have had them out already, and people are just pulling big time cards. They're getting that artist from Japan,
Sure.
number to 3 cards. You're seeing it all over the Facebook group.
Yep, love it.
Does that infuriate you a little bit?
I haven't paid attention. No, I'm thrilled.
Okay.
2 days early, I'm happy with. Here's the thing: when they ship you more, like if normal shipping, you could probably get the same thing as just FedEx and UPS. When it's a pallet size, they use a freight company, Old Dominion. Right. Eric, the driver, great person. He literally will go out of his way to text me because Fanatics is still not updated. That the sender doesn't need to be called. So the office calls Fanatics. They don't know what's going on or care. And then these guys usually leave. This guy, above and beyond. If anybody from Old Dominion Shipping is listening, Eric deserves a raise.
Mike,
shout out to Eric.
You darn right I do.
There you go. There you go.
I tell him, like, you need the bathroom, you need a drink while you're here, or anything. You want to pet a dog?
I love it.
Swimming pool, quick little dip.
I love
never
it. And
taken me
it's
up on anything.
which he was probably shocked when he saw it was in ground, because most people will take Mike for an above ground pool guy, but he's more of an in ground guy.
No one's
Well,
ever thought that. The in-ground, heated, nice, yeah.
above ground would be the whirlpool jacuzzi.
It's fair.
Okay, well, I don't go slumming like that, but that's fine. I'm not judging anybody who does, of course. So
No, we were talking, Mike, honestly, Topps Chrome, getting that product in hand, it's a huge release week. Obviously, we've had quite a gap in our last release for Topps Baseball, so this should culminate to a volcanic excitement this week. But you have the three SKUs, right? The Hobby, Jumbo, and Breaker.
yeah, heaviest on breakers, the light. We got some jumbo. Actually, lightest on hobby SKUs for us, and then we got a tiny bit of megas or one sort of. I think there's a Fanatics exclusive retail this time.
Okay.
Some sort of a mega or something like that. Yeah.
What percentage of stuff do you get that you order?
What do you mean?
Do they fulfill 100% of what you order, or do they cut?
No,
it
they
back?
tell you what you're going to get. Like what's
Yeah,
gonna be
they
offered
just
to you.
hey, you can get up to 5 cases.
Right,
Like,
but you could order 3 if you wanted, or
yeah, they say you are allowed up to this number. How many do you
Okay.
want? Yep.
Yeah, but if you didn't want to ever get more again, Danny, yes, you could take less than what they offered.
Well, I don't think people realize that.
Well, it's different because before it would be the distributors say, "Hey, how many do you want?" You would order, and then they'd come back with your allocation. Topps does it the other way around, which, quite frankly, I actually like. Not that the number's always favorable, but at least if I know a month out, I can go to Blowout, I can go to Steel City, I can go to other breakers. How can I maneuver and get more? I do appreciate that. Hey, getting back to the scam story real quick, because this was the only question I really wanted to ask about it. What does this do for the hobby going forward? Because I don't think this ends the hobby. I'm sick of people, the doom and gloom, and everything's the end of the world. The hobby has a crazy short memory. It's not the end of anything. And I know because I'm super invested in it, I make my living off of it. It benefits me to say that. Yes, I acknowledge that. However, the hobby's seen other big scams. We've seen other crap happen, unfortunately. The hobby continues to move forward. So what is the actual result of this?
Yeah, I
in
was telling
6
Mike,
months?
I was telling Danny, like
Yeah.
being in the shop, I mean, I haven't had a single person that has come in and said, well, are you guys concerned about the memorabilia? Because we have quite a bit of memorabilia. You've been in the shop, Mike, all over the walls and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, massive.
yeah, we haven't had anyone that's like super concerned that, are you guys worried about having fakes? Not at all. Like
That gets back to them not checking certs. If they don't even know the story or following the story, there's no concern.
So is that an issue of it's not? I mean, I can't say it's not out there enough. Like even major news organizations that have nothing to do with the hobby
Right.
are talking about it. So you think a lot of people just don't know?
Don't know, don't care. They just want their Patrick Mahomes jersey to put in their office, and I
I
think
know
that's all they care about.
I know it's not the same thing, but I would challenge you, even with the national coming up, I bet there is a fair amount of people that do very, very well in that room that will be wearing some high-end fake sneakers of some kind.
Sure.
I'm telling you, just
Yeah.
because at a certain point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're not planning on selling it. Who cares? Like, I get the whole. I get the wait, but let me preface that real quick. Who cares that I have a fake one on the wall? I just wanted to have it. But now, if I'm going to resell it or pass it on or do something like that, I get that this guy's now made money off of selling fakes. I get it 100%. But from the collector standpoint, if I'm not Mike and I'm not making my living, if I'm not me, if I'm not you, Danny, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I'm gonna keep
so
it
like
with
the
you.
guy,
But
the
do
guy
you
who
really-
bought it at Applebee's, like you said, though, he's never going to know it's fake and he doesn't care. I guess there is
Yeah.
part of that too.
And
Yep.
nobody's buying it off his wall.
So
Nobody's
wait.
buying it off his wall.
And
Like,
what's it going to do for the hobby? I think low end memorabilia goes down for a little while, and I think on card autos go up for a little while.
So I guess that was my point. Like, because the
Yeah.
only two areas that came in mind, like if I'm out in the market to buy a Patrick Mahomes autograph and I wanted a jersey, a photo, a helmet, whatever, do I see, again, if I'm in the hobby, do I see this and then say, you know what? I have enough uncertainty and fear that I'm just going to go buy a card. That's my first question. I guess the other thing is, does this now give a little bit more validity to witnessed signings? Because some guys will give you the sticker that it's a witnessed signing. Does it cause that kind of a change? I do wonder though. Like, I actually don't think it does. I'd like to say yes, and we're going to get more strict. But I've seen enough of these things where I'm just like, I don't know that we're going to do anything
at
about
the end
it.
of the day, if a guy wanted a signed jersey
Still getting a signed jersey.
a little card is not going to change what he wants. He's not going to put up a baseball or a football card on his wall when he wants to fill up an entire room with jerseys. Like, it's not going to happen.
But you're wrong. It's not the same guy. It's two different customers. You have in the hobby people and you have out of the hobby people.
So you think it affects in the hobby people?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I could see that. Okay, I could see that a little bit. Sure.
And
yeah.
to Joe's point, nobody comes in the store worrying about it. And
they're not asking him. Yeah, they're not asking. And you know what? Honestly, on some of these products, you don't see a ton of people asking for the Brady Mahomes stuff online, or you have a certain customer base that can afford that stuff to begin with. Yeah. So, and it goes back to when I talked about, personally for me, I can't afford a Steph Curry on card auto, but what I could afford for my son was a Leaf sticker on a card auto.
Okay.
So, and to me, he could care less that it's not a
he's used to
not a certified product.
He just understands at this point.
Dad
doesn't give me the real auto. Dad's missing kindergarten because he's going to the show. Like, he's just
I will have a picture. I'm going to overlay a picture of a facsimile picture that I do have on the wall too. That he's like, I did have to explain that. He's like, wow, an 8x10. I'm like,
you tell him? Just let him live.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
So he needs to know who his real dad is and make it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Joe wanted to talk about, since we're talking about cards and on-card autos, when you grade vintage, and Gio, I'm very curious on your opinion.
Okay.
I appeal buying the card versus the grade. Go ahead, Joe.
Here's my frustration, Danny. Guy comes into the shop.
Hang on a second.
Okay?
What is that?
Wait, he can't sit still. Do you see him moving, waiting to talk?
No, I'm fired up, Mike. So the whole thing, the question will be at the end of this brief story. So the gentleman walks in, he's got a 53 mantle.
Okay.
It's a PR 1.5. Okay. I'm like, all right, fine. So we're looking up and we're trying to give comps on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other 1.5 PRs that are there that, there's a drastic difference in the price. And ultimately it comes down to eye appeal.
Sure.
Now, and Danny was telling me he's got a card that's got a chicken stamped on the back, but it's gorgeous on the front, but it's still the eye appeal. Why, regardless, why don't you just give it a higher? Why don't you give it a 2 if it has that different eye appeal? Then, if we're talking about half a grade and you're already going to give it more of a financial bump because it has eye appeal, just give it the better grade. Like,
that's not the responsibility of the grader.
It should be.
No, if you have a chicken stamp on the back, I don't care.
A literal this is my card. Stamp? What's the chick? What is happening? Did I gloss over that?
No. This is 100% true. 33 Gaudy Moberg, and
Mo. Yeah. Sure.
Great story, by the way. He was a spy for the U.S. government while he was playing baseball. Different topic, different day. But on the back is a chicken stamp. So the front of the card is gorgeous. The card is graded a 1 because it has a chicken stamp. I can't argue. It's got a chicken stamp on the back. And that's where I think you buy the card because you're looking at the front.
I agree. I would pay more for that card in a different grade. In the same grade than one that is a beat up, because obviously it's beat up if it's a 1, right? I would rather it look better. But to Joe's point, that is not like, to me, in a perfect, the grader grades based on their criteria, and they need to be consistent with that. I know they're not always. But they should, in their mind, I do not want it entering their head of, hey, this is probably going to sell higher because of the front eye appeal. Let's give it a 2 anyways. That's not their job. Then they're taking resale account into value.
Wait a second.
What?
You don't think that goes into their mind a little bit? The resale.
I think they know if they're handling a big card.
Well, if that's the case, why not give it a 3? Well, yeah, but the upcharge is another made-up thing. The upcharge doesn't even kick in until it's a big enough card in the first place. The majority of cards like that are not, like, I don't think does that card, if it goes from a 2 to a 3, get an upcharge?
No.
That's Maybe. What
I mean. The 1.5 with poor eye appeal, we give a value of $1,250.
1,200 or 12,000?
1,200. That's
not a markup, is it?
But I think if it went up to a 3, if at a 1.5, it's at 1,200, would a 3 put it close to $3,000, 3,500?
So again, then I can't even say the grader's doing anything wrong. It seems like to me, if they wanted to be kind of slimy about it, let's just give it the 3 anyway so we can upcharge. They didn't do that.
Right. What's their incentive to go higher? It would be my
The
question.
incentive is the money. I get to upcharge. But if they're not doing that, it seems like to me
Exactly.
like they're given an accurate grade.
Well,
And
and then
and do they get commission? I mean, if you're actually the grader,
Mhm.
do you care what?
No, there's no
Right.
no
That's my
way.
point. So I don't think they actually care about the upcharge either.
I'm not convinced of that. I do think that hey, there's a quota with certain cards upcharge it, but I think it's much less utilized than people make it seem like. Every time a card gets a bigger grade, it's like, oh, they're upcharging. Like in this case, they didn't give the better grade. They didn't upcharge. What's the issue? Do you have an issue though that it sells that much higher because of the because of the grade and it just has good eye appeal?
I have the issue that you have two 1.5s,
Mhm.
and then one gets a $300 to $500 bump just because it looks better, but it's the same grade. The criteria of the card overall, if we're trying to hold two cards next to each other, the apples to apples of it, like what are we doing? I mean,
But it's
there
different.
should be some bump for having better eye appeal. There really should be.
The
At
bump
the
is
end of
the
the
eye
day,
appeal.
But eye appeal is different for everybody. Some people like the corners, some
Some
people
like the
want
chicken.
or some people want the centering.
well, Danny's also was an SGC. It wasn't a PSA. What I'm referencing is the PSA difference.
Now I want popcorn.
Oh.
I do think that it's absolutely fair to charge more if the card is centered on some sets because you can't get it centered. Certain sets you'll never find good corners if you're talking vintage.
Well, and the
That
grader's not determining the resale anyways. It's not like the
yeah.
grader's saying you should like people are that 1.5 probably outsells some 2s as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike, would there be any possibility for you to, with your bird rookie, you have a
Mhm.
9, right? So
Yep.
if there was a better 9 with better eye appeal, what if it was an older label but better eye appeal? Would you?
Older
No.
labels a whole nother
Yeah,
discussion.
to me, the older label outvalues the eye appeal of a card. I trust the label now more than before. So yeah, I wouldn't. But if you said there's the same exact label, everything's the same except the other 9 is a tiny bit better centered and maybe has even less a lighter print. Like the print mark is very common. I don't think this 9
Mhm.
has it, but let's just say. But that's what drew me to this 9, by the way. I saw this the very first thing I did, centering because it's huge on that card, and the print line on the bottom right front as you're looking at the card. There's almost always that print line. And sometimes it's super light, so it barely comes in. Other times you'll see a PSA 8 with the what is it, PD? Is that their designation, Danny, for a qualifier of print defect or something?
I don't know because they got rid of a bunch of qualifiers a couple of years ago.
Okay, that used to be the qualification for it.
Yeah.
So in my head, as soon as I saw this, I thought, oh, I will pay a premium for this 9 because it looks better than the other card, than other copies, I guess.
And I'm glad they got rid of the qualifier.
Yeah, the qualify. I hate the qualify. Just lower the grade of the card because it used to be,
Exactly.
and way back in the day, you actually had the option. Do you want a PSA 6 or do you want a PSA 8 OC off centered? No, I just want the true grade of the card because have fun trying to comp that out because then it became super subjective to that. I have a Bill Russell PSA. It's a PSA 8 OC. I'd rather just have it be a clean PSA 6. Because trying to explain to somebody a PSA 8 and it's better in all these examples, except the centering's way worse. I hate the more you can get rid of, the less subjective it has to be.
They are also very much not liquid.
Correct. Yeah, it's tough to comp it. Yep.
Very hard.
Agreed.
Joe, disagree with us completely?
No, I just don't understand why they're not liquid.
Because they're liquid, but it's more difficult. If I have a PSA 6, it's very simple. Let's go find comps of a PSA 6. Let's give some deference to eye appeal. Okay, no problem. But here's a general marker. But a PSA 8 OC, well, first, is it 1 grade less or is it 2? Again, it's a free marker. You can do what you want. But in general, it used to always be that's a 2 grade deduction, right?
So if it has an 8 on there, but it has the OC underneath it,
Sells closer to
it's
a
6.
Roughly.
So yeah.
So that's why they got rid of the qualifier.
Correct. Wild. And I'm glad they got rid of
stupid.
it. It is. Because again, so maybe some people know that, but a lot of people don't. So it's like, oh, well, this should be 3 grades off, or this should be only 1 grade off. You're leaving a lot of area for subjectivity that doesn't need it. I'm glad they got rid of it.
And actually, I think it's worth regrading and sending it back in if you have a qualifier.
Not to mention, like, depending on what the qualifier is, so this is a PSA 8 OC. Well, if let's just say hypothetically, I don't know the specifics. SGC is a little bit more lenient when it comes to a 7 grade. I'd rather have an SGC 7 than a PSA 8 OC. Maybe it's worth cracking.
Yeah.
You know, but again, and even then, I don't like it because then you're playing the game of value changing the exact same item because a different card and grade, a different label and grade are on there. I think it's a big problem, and it's not super clear to people.
I would
It's
send it
huge.
back to PSA.
Yeah,
Crack it and send it back to PSA. You'll get it back without a qualifier, and the grade.
sure, but if I can play the game, I'm going to play the game. If I can get an SGC 7, I'll take the SGC 7.
What if you got the PSA 7?
Oh, sure, yeah, it sells it. Yes, I'm with you. I'm going to call Nat after this.
Do you think?
Take it easy, Cass. See, Joe never wants to give me the gratification of that laugh. He's playing hard to get here. I appreciate it. You can only see the right half of his smile because the ivory on the left half is totally washed. Can we hang a blanket over the window?
Dude, it is hanging over the window as we speak.
Can the camera scroll over there? Can we see it?
Yeah, like I don't know if I could pull it.
Let's just see what we're dealing with. I'd like to take a look at this.
It's got to be.
It's green.
Well, that's
You
your
see
armpit.
the blinds behind it?
Nope, we just see your armpit.
No, you can see the blind there.
The green
Danny, am
blinds.
I crazy? I don't see any blinds.
Oh my gosh, you can see it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see it.
I think you got to go to
Builder
Home
grade.
Depot.
Builder grade.
Go to
Let
Home
me
Depot.
ask you this though. How dare
Give me the measurements on that window. I'm going to send you some blinds.
you know what? Actually, do that, and then also if you could send me another window. Can I just tell you this is a fantastic story? We're getting ready to leave, and my youngest son, 5-year-old, comes up. I'm walking down the stairs, and yes, youngest of 5. He goes, "Hey, Dad, you want to hear a secret?" And I just hear all 4 of my other children just yell, "No, no, no!" And he comes up. They're on this side, and he shows his lips, so he's going like this. He's like, "Hey, Zosha broke the window in the back of the house."
Nice.
And it happened 2 weeks ago, and like normally I would come off the handle there, but I think it scared them even more when I just came down calm and said, "Why wouldn't you say anything?" So
Yeah.
See,
That kid's a
Mike-
rat.
Mike, you got young kids. When they get older, it's a whole different level of trouble.
I
dude,
guess.
I
That
love
kid,
that he ratted him out though. That was
As
he
Al
waited
Pacino-
2 weeks, but he did it. Like
as Al Pacino would say, scent of a woman, you're bearing seafaring rats here. That's what you're raising in this house, Joe. That kid's a weasel. I
He's
wouldn't go to his
loyal.
kindergarten first day either.
loyal.
Yeah,
He's
turned
loyal.
out. So was
But the
Benedict
best was
Arnold.
just the fear that was instilled. Like this 5-year-old had the power. But going back to the grading
Yes.
thing,
You're
real
going
quick.
back to sports.
Yes. So here's what I really want to know is, so that's only applicable to things that do not have serial number grades, right? Like I'm furious about a grade I have on a card, but it's numbered 25, and I don't think I can resubmit it because I think it'll be in the database that this has already received this.
You're saying the cards that are not serial numbered, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Well, that you can crack it first.
No, but he's saying there'd be a record of number 7 of 25 of this Aaron Judge card is already in the system.
I don't think that.
I don't think they'll. I think you can still do it.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Somebody just put on social media that they had a card. It was, I think, a 6. They cracked it, sold it raw. The buyer resubmitted it and got an 8.
I did. Well, one of them too recently, a 6 became a BGS 9.5. A PSA 6 became a BGS 9.5.
No,
Yep.
because, well, that's crazy. But this
I saw
was
that
a
one.
PSA 6 to a PSA 8 on
That's
the
a nice
same
card.
card.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna
because
play the game. I can't judge them. Like I've got that Jordan rookie. I bought it years ago because remember when PSA 10s were doing 500,000-600,000. BGS 9.5s were, now granted Beckett is in the absolute toilet, but the difference, I was like, this is nuts. I got a 9.5 and I thought at some point I will upgrade this to a 10, and it's literally a 10 to 12x multiplier.
Yeah.
I'll play the game and throw some money out to try to cross it. Why not?
Okay, I want to play Would You Rather.
let's
Would you
capture it
rather-
at the National. Do it.
Would you rather have an unopened pack of the 86 Fleer at a lower price or the Jordan rookie guaranteed to have, but very volatile in, let's say, an 8?
It just depends. I
The
don't know what.
Jordan rookie.
Yeah, what's the pack sell? Like, does the pack sell for way more than a Jordan?
No,
8?
it sells for way less. So you're taking that risk, but you're spending a lot less. And the pack can be resold also.
So the only reason you take the pack is, hey, maybe I get a Jordan that grades higher than an 8.
And the
you-
sticker, maybe, right?
And you lay out a lot less cash.
Like how much? What are we talking? Do you know the values on these two roughly?
I think those packs are anywhere from like $200 to $400, maybe.
That's it?
That's the point.
Okay, so let's say the pack is 400. What's the Jordan 8 go for right now? 2,500. I don't even know. 2,500, 5,000.
Somewhere in that range. I mean, 10-time multiplier, 8-time multiplier of the pack.
Give me the card. I'm not playing the chasing anymore. Just give me the card.
But would you keep the pack sealed or resell it?
Either way, I'm keeping the pack sealed. I don't have the stomach to be ripping $400 packs.
No, I'm sending it in to get graded, honestly, because we had an issue where we had a guy who sold us a pack, and then another customer was like, "Hey, I wanted it," bought it, ripped it. It clearly was just reshuffled in there. So I wouldn't want to go through that again because
I'm with you.
It was embarrassing, and then you have to give the money back. Like,
well, you know who authenticates their packs?
PSA.
BBTE.
The Pokemon guy. Yeah,
exactly. So speaking of stuff in the hobby that's gone wrong,
a lot of GI Joe cards. We had a collector come in who brought a 5-row of just old packs, and I know Danny doesn't follow a lot of pop culture, so he might not know what Marvel characters are. But Marvel Fleer Marvel 94, like they had like 25 packs.
The first year, right?
The cardboard boxes of them, like they're packs, but they were like the boxes fold. He had a bunch of those in there. It was kind of cool to see. I know those sell on average for like 25 to 30 bucks a pack. He had a bunch of those. He had Alf. Do you remember Alf?
Alien Life Form Alf?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Alf is fantastic.
Yeah.
Not Harry and the Hendersons fantastic, but
no, but he also had a King Kong pack. Original King Kong and Godzilla. So it was kind of cool to see that kind of stuff. But again, you're taking a flyer on those old wax packs because you really can open them up, take them out, and reseal them to look just as new. It's kind of sickening, actually. Yeah. Which brings me to pop culture. Mike, do you know who Morgan Wallen is?
Of course, everybody knows Morgan. He's like one of the top selling country artists in the world, and threw a chair off a roof at somebody. There's no chance Danny knows who this is. By the way,
that's the idea.
Have you never even heard the name though?
Never even heard the name.
That's the thing. It's not that you're just clueless about modern stuff. It's like you go out of your way to have your head in the clouds. How do you not know who? Do you know who? I mean, who else? Do you know who Taylor Swift is?
I know who Taylor Swift is. I could not name one song. I could not tell you anything else about
it. I knew you were in trouble when you walked in. I knew that.
Oh, no, quite. I mean, you got to shake it off is what you have to do there. I guess, I'm so upset. There's tears on my guitar about this, to be honest with you. If you heard a Taylor Swift song, would you know it?
I have no idea. Probably not.
Don't you have kids?
Yeah, they don't.
Are they just sheltered too? Like what's?
No, they don't listen to music. The boys play games the whole time, and my daughter is an artist, creative.
What's her muse though? No music? Come on.
She's into like newer independent people.
Of course.
Nothing I know.
Yeah.
Well, so Morgan Wallen has a stadium tour, right? He did 2 nights in Phoenix at the Cardinal Stadium this past weekend. But I don't listen to Morgan Wallen, but I know who he is. And I didn't know that it's a big deal. Like wherever he does his stadium tours,
the walkout.
When it's time, his walkout.
Yeah.
So
what is it?
Just take Danny off the screen, Haley. We're good here for the next 2 minutes.
It's him paying homage to professional wrestling, to be honest.
Jeez.
Yeah. So he walks out, and he walked out with Randy Johnson on Friday night, and then David Spade dressed up as Joe Dirt.
Dirty, correct. Yep.
So, and that got a ton of views. Mike, where did that stem from originally? Like, what is
him doing the walkout?
Yeah,
I have no clue.
Okay.
Yep. But I saw he did it like at Neyland Stadium when he did Tennessee. Like it's huge.
Like Tux now. Come on, make the Joe Dirt Morgan Wallen card. I guarantee it sells. I guarantee it sells. Like
1,000%.
Like that's the kind of stuff. I mean, those crossover cards.
This is viewership right now.
Oh,
if you thought viewership started that high, you are way off, my friend. Yeah,
dude, it's crazy, Danny. We're talking a stadium that probably with the floor seats, you're pushing 70 to 70,000 or 70 to 75,000 people, and he did 2 nights sold out. Like that's crazy. Like
so does NASCAR, and I have no interest in that either.
That's fair.
Which, by the way, big baseball game is going to be played. Is it at Bristol? I think Bristol, the small.
I know it's at the racetrack.
Yeah, that's going to be big time too. And then the other big news this past weekend, Mike, I know that you've been following, and I want to get to it. I know you had pointed out the WNBA, pay us what we're worth.
It's
shirts.
a losing business venture. What are you worth? I don't understand that. I also
Well-
don't understand the Caitlyn Clark. By the way, I don't ever pay attention until there's like a headline. So they pay us what they're worth, and I was like, well, I don't know if you're not profitable. I don't understand. The other thing is the Kelsey Plume,
Plum.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kelsey Plum, who apparently is very good. Why does she go out of her way to take shots? I don't understand the hatred to Caitlyn. Caitlyn Clark is making everybody more money.
Sure. As Greenie said, she's Tiger Woods for the WNBA.
Yeah, so why is there like I don't understand the is it all just jealousy? Like it's
Yeah.
like it was like people go out of their way to take shots at her. I don't get it.
Well, I
It's-
think a lot of
it's
it's from the
crazy.
NIL. Most of the players didn't have NIL. So now you have rookies coming into the league who could have made very good money in college, especially Caitlyn Clark.
Sure.
And so they come in already rich, already more famous.
But she's going to make you more money. The viewership, by the way, love her or hate her, the viewership numbers, they keep showing them
Yeah.
when she plays and anybody else plays. There's a massive drop off. I don't understand why you wouldn't embrace that.
Her rookie contract is $78,000. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Okay.
keep
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
sure.
$78,000, and these more seasoned veterans who are making more than her, and who aren't the draw, are kind of getting. I mean, piggybacking on her. But the bigger thing about this is that it is a profitable venture, Mike. I think that's the problem. Is I think the numbers aren't being reported fairly, and I think
Oh,
there's
okay. I didn't know that. All I ever hear is it loses money. If you're so, I guess again, I just don't know. What,
they
like
just
you
signed
have.
they signed a huge TV deal too, Mike.
Oh, great. Then pay him more. Like if it's
but-
worth it for you to pay him more, I'm not opposed to it. I want everybody to make as much. At the end of the day, I really try to stick to the capitalist view.
Yeah.
Make as much as you can for what you're doing, as long as you're not hurting anybody. I don't care. I guess my question is, the league's doing better now. I'll take you at your word because I don't know any different, right? Like it's making more money. Does that mean the fourth best player for Arizona, whatever the Arizona team is now worth more as well? I just don't know. I don't like if you can get more, get
but
more.
Would you have heard of Kelsey Plum if it wasn't for Caitlyn Clark?
No, I never heard it before this year, really.
But you guys aren't sports fans either. Like she was
That's
one of
fair.
the leading
That's
scorers
also
in
fair.
women's basketball at the University of Washington.
But
Like-
I've heard of Asia Wilson, so like I do know some players. Like I've heard of.
Where'd she go to college?
She's a three-time MVP though. Or
Yeah,
something.
but I don't care about
Right.
anything college. Like I haven't heard of men's college players that are good either. That's not a great mark for me.
You were such a terrible person.
I know that's not deniable. I'm not denying that, but I just mean there are other people I've heard of because they're just good on the like her. Maya Moore who went to UConn and was great and was the Kobe of college basketball. See,
there's my
I've
guy.
heard of
Yeah.
that. So there are certain people that transcend it. Cameron Brink I knew went to Paige Beckers went to UConn. Where did
Yeah.
Cameron Brink go to college?
Stanford.
Arizona,
Stanford.
Stanford, Connecticut,
And Juju Watkins.
USC. I know Juju Watkins.
Yep.
But
So
She's
even
the
that,
next big thing.
But even that, I would say Angel Reese, all those people, the majority of that is from like me and we had I don't know what we were doing that day. We had a house full of people when Caitlyn Clark played. Was it LSU they played and they lost in the championship or vice versa, whatever it was?
They lost to South Carolina.
They played LSU first though, right? In the tournament.
Correct.
I've never watched a women's basketball game start to finish. We watched both those games back to back. It was unbelievable. Camila Cardoso.
Yep.
See, again, but if you take Clark out of the equation, I've never heard of any of those people. And
Well,
you could put in anybody you want, but she transcended the sport the same way Maya Moore did at the time. I watched a little bit of UConn basketball then.
This will completely close the argument right here. Have you heard of the Unrivaled League?
No.
Yes.
So you have Dan. Wow. Danny.
When you
Is it
get
from
into
the
my
60s?
lane, no, when you get into my lane, it's a different league where they make a lot of money playing.
What sport?
You probably know basketball. So
it's women's. It's 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in the off season of the
off-season.
WNBA. They had a TV deal too. I believe it was. I think it was TNT. I think.
And isn't it celebrity owned by somebody? There's
I
some
think
of the
it's
big
player.
investors.
I think it's player owned.
Is that what it is?
I think the league is player owned. But
I know Mr.
but
Man
Caitlyn-
Cave was a big investor there. I remember that.
Yes, he
Indiana.
was.
Yeah.
But Caitlyn Clark didn't participate in that. That was getting to be my point. Like she opted out of it, but they just signed a bunch of new people and they signed a bunch of college players to play in it as well. So, I think the
What's
Caitlyn
the point
Clark
then?
hate.
I guess what's the
So the Caitlyn Clark hate, like it's a league that yes, people wanted to jump on the whole WNBA momentum,
Sure.
but she didn't. She decided not to do it in the off season at all. And I don't know that it had the viewers essentially. And that's where a lot of the clips of like the Angel Reese missing layups and all that kind of stuff, a lot of that came from this unrivaled league.
Oh, okay.
But the point is the people that are really interested in WNBA, they see it as one of the things that are within the hobby, within the whole sport
realm.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Where there's an opportunity to make money. Like there's still a ton of growth there.
So Joe, let me ask you this then. If we take Caitlyn Clark, say she breaks her leg this year and it's an unbelievable injury, she can never come back. Do you still view it as nearly as much upside? I just wonder, is the whole success of the league right now, in the hobby's eyes, predicated on just Caitlyn Clark's success?
100%.
But it could be.
I agree, yeah.
No, Juju Watkins, I think, could have the same effect. And I think it's going to keep building.
I heard the same thing about
ACL.
What's that fist, Joe?
But I heard the same thing about Paige. I heard the same thing about Paige Beckers. Like, she's the next girl. It's unbelievable. Does anybody, I mean, again, in the hobby, I'm not saying on the court because I have no idea relevance to the sport. I'm not take that out of it. I'm saying for the hobby, the lane of the hobby, Paige Beckers is nowhere near Caitlyn Clark. Nobody is even in the same world as Caitlyn Clark.
No, but Paige Beckers had more cards graded, I think, last month than any other female athlete.
Okay.
I think a lot of it comes back to the fact that Paige Beckers came from a blue blood college basketball team.
The Tom Selleck show?
The Friday night.
Danny, get that one. Danny, you know Blue Bloods.
Yeah, he does.
Well, the commercials on during Matlock.
Thank you. Which has been fantastic.
Okay. Over under 6 months. When is the last time you watched an episode of Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury?
To be fair, I take care of my father, so.
Oh my God. Dude, if Danny is this out of touch, you know his dad is running around like, we got to be careful. The Germans are still. It's like, bro, World War II ended like 80 years ago. Danny's dad is still in a bunker somewhere.
He will not miss Price is Right. The whole day is around Price.
You hear about this witchcraft? They got phones with no cord on them. Dan's dad is just locking it down. Good for him. I like him. A true time capsule.
He's got the corded phone.
Oh God.
He's got the flip, and in the flip cell phone, that's not a smartphone. It only does phone calls.
I'm not updating to this crazy 8-track thing. I'm sticking with what I've got.
Yep.
Now we're
I
losing
gotta
the
meet
viewers.
this guy.
This is where I come from. I'm actually an evolved son.
You're like
He's
Brendan
like a Pokemon.
Fraser. You're like Brendan Fraser. That's who you are.
From Encino Man?
No. From what's the one where they're underground? The bomb shelter his dad was
Blast
Christopher
from the
Walken.
Past.
Blast from the Past. Thank you.
You're
And the
welcome.
baseball card story there.
Yep.
You tried to take him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're
that was a
cooking.
pawn shop, not a card shop. So
That's
don't
fair.
put the hate in the comments. Speaking of which,
Joe would pull that stunt though. Just to
All
be
right.
cool.
you know
Joe.
what? Someone did accuse me of that this week, honestly, and it was I owned up to the air.
Sure.
It was on a authentic jersey. It was a Jose Canseco. When I opened it, like he just left it in the bag. He's like, I don't know what I want for it, and I was looking, and it looked like a custom. So I gave him custom pricing, opened it up, and then I was like, oh, this is not.
Did you call the 9-year-old back after you did that to him? Or
No, I stopped him at the door. I said, come back here. I owe you some money. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I didn't pull it out of the bag. I was just giving you the pricing because did you know, like when you buy collections and that kind of stuff, you will buy a lot of things. Like you'll go through maybe a couple of boxes, but you won't go through it all. You know that, right?
I don't.
You do. When you're buying big bulk collections.
It's the 80-20 rule. You're looking for that 20%.
So, I'm looking through. He had a Gunnar Henderson authentic, and then he had this Jose Canseco. And I was like looking through. I was like, because it looked custom. Then I opened up and I saw the patches, but I grabbed him at the door and made it right. But a custom Jose Canseco was still selling for $44. I mean, I didn't know him much. I owed him like I think $45 more because it was an authentic jersey. But
do you mind me asking what percentage you paid on that?
50% on the jerseys. Yeah. That was after the news broke too.
Should have been 40. I can't believe he was just generous. Good for you.
What was the COA on it?
The Gunner was Fanatics and the Canseco was Beckett.
Did the numbers come back? You checked the COA?
I didn't.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's just passing it on anyways. Yep, just
that's
funding the scam. Oh, brother.
Well, I'm trusting Fanatics as a certified dealer. When I see a Fanatics piece come in, I believe in the product. So I'm trusting that COA carries a lot of weight, Mike. So
I agree. I'm not arguing.
Which is why people look it up.
I think Jesse actually booked a scammer of some kind who was in trouble for this before for today's show. Like he wanted to get the dark side of this thing, and then he got Steve Grad. I think today. Well, I'm saying today. Today we're recording on Monday. We always record this on a Monday, and then we do this thing we release Wednesday. But we're recording right after this. I just broke the fourth wall. You're welcome. I'm curious. I've never spoken to Steve Grad, so I don't know. I just know he's somewhat of an authority. He's been involved. So I am curious. But yeah, he's got one of these scammers on. Not Brett Lemieux. He wasn't taking interviews. Sadly,
He's not signing anymore.
He doesn't
Thank
talk. He doesn't talk much.
Yeah, a lot of speculation there. Are we done? Are we good?
No, we have one more question, Mike,
please.
that we started last week.
Okay.
And Danny, and hopefully you can clear up this argument because Danny is convinced that we were doing the top 5 catchers of all time. He says Joe Mauer, not really remembered as a catcher.
No, he played half his games as catcher, half his games as non-catcher.
But what do you view him as when you think of Joe Mauer? Catcher.
Or DH or first base.
See, there's an or there. Catcher or one of the other. So I'll give you my top 5 catchers of all time.
And I don't put Joe Mauer in there anyway.
Matter of fact, I would argue too, catcher and third base are the only 2 undisputed, almost entirely undisputed positions, all-time greats. Like if you ask 100 people the greatest third base of all time,
Brooks Robinson.
Well, you're a Baltimore homer who's never heard of Mike Schmidt.
Robinson too.
It's Mike Schmidt. But
Joe was going to say it too.
Okay, I'd say if you took a poll though, and again, I have no connection to these 2 guys. If you took a poll amongst sports fans, Mike Schmidt is almost always the third baseman. Higher percentage of people will vote. He's got 500 home runs, multiple MVPs, arguably the most underrated player of all time. Unbelievable. I don't care. You make the argument, but I would say of the 2 positions, if I asked you starting pitcher, first base, second, short, any of the outfield positions, you would get more of a plethora of variety there. Third base, it's almost always Mike Jack Schmidt. Catcher, Johnny Bench. I've never heard anybody argue anybody other than Johnny Bench at catcher.
So who's your 5?
So Johnny Bench, number 1. I think Yogi Berra is in there. Bench is locked in at 1. I'm saying Berra is in the top 5. I don't know the position yet. Pudge Rodriguez, love him or hate him. Pudge Rodriguez is like the 2nd greatest offensive catcher of all time, 3rd greatest, and arguably the best defensive. I put Pudge there. Berra. All right, let me think here. Who was your 5? Give me some. I'm curious who you guys had.
I had Josh Gibson.
See, I don't know anything about Josh. That's a tough. And he played in the Negro League quite a bit, right?
I'm
not discrediting.
Only the Negro League, but supposedly 700, 800 home runs, and everybody who played with him said he was as good as Babe Ruth.
So here's my only pushback there is Ichiro got a bunch of hits. He would be the all-time hits leader if we included the Japanese league. I'm going to go just MLB catcher. So I'm going to take Josh out of it because I don't know the first thing about it. I don't know the competition over there.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not even saying you're wrong. You could tell me he's the greatest based on what he did. I wouldn't have anything to say. I have no clue. Those 3.
So
Man,
I had
how about Gary Carter?
See, Gary Carter is the one who always comes to mind, and I don't know the first thing about. I don't know the first thing about Gary Carter and Thurman Munson. My dad always talks about how great those 2 were. I never saw either one of them. I don't know the first thing about him. Man, like the only other guys who really come to mind, and I'm not saying they are, Posey, Molina.
Yeah, Yachty, for sure.
Mauer? Like Mauer's probably, but I didn't know Mauer played half his career not there. So if that's the case, I would take him out of the discussion. Yachty, though, I think is super underrated. He was one of the best I ever saw. I put Yachty there. And then, man, I almost go Posey, even though Posey has
Sandy Alomar Jr.
No.
Yeah, so to me, let me just round it off. And I'm probably wrong. I'd go Bench, Pudge, Berra, Yachty, and Posey.
See, I think Yachty is like Carlton Fisk. Long career.
Oh, Fisk. See, I might put Fisk in there. Yeah, Pudge Fisk. Okay.
He retired as the all-time leader in home runs for catchers when he retired.
Pudge? Fisk?
Fisk, yeah.
Is it now Piazza? Is he the?
Well, that's another name if you don't care about defense.
Yeah, Piazza. That's the thing. I just give defense a lot of weight there because of the position. Other positions I don't. Like I don't care about defense nearly as much as at almost any other position as I do catcher. Catcher to me primarily defense.
And I know you guys will make fun of me, Mickey Cochran, and Gabby Hartnett.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, Gabby. He's been dead for 312 years. I mean, those 2 guys literally died not knowing. Those 2 guys literally died not knowing dinosaurs existed. Fossils hadn't even been discovered yet. Like, yeah, that's funny. The Brooks Robinson thing.
If you want Danny's take, just go on Google and type in top 5 catchers on Google. You'll get his same list.
Really? So can I get your 2 lists?
Wait, the Bench, Yogi Berra.
You had both, and then you had Josh Gibson on there as well.
I had Josh Gibson. And
He's on the Google list too.
I had Pudge Rodriguez.
He's on the list too.
Who's the fifth?
Who was my fifth?
Just say Joe Mauer.
Just check the.
No, definitely it's not Joe Mauer.
Yeah.
It might have been Gary Carter.
Okay, who's your 5, Joe?
So I went with not in any particular order. I went with Pudge. My favorite version was Tiger's Pudge. Then I had Sandy Alomar Jr. I also had Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra, and then I had Joe Mauer. But if I took out Sandy Alomar Jr., I would put Yachty in. But I really enjoyed watching Sandy Alomar Jr. play. I thought he was amazing.
I think Fisk is on my list. I just have to think about it. I think I'd put Fisk over Posey. I might put Fisk over Yachty too.
Yeah.
Posey would be bumped for Fisk. There you go.
Too much of a modern bias.
That's fair.
For Fisk, who played in the
70s? For Joe's list.
Yeah, well, Joe's
Sandy Alomar Jr. is not a top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a homer. You guys know that, but I love my teams, and I'm gonna give shout outs to the guys like that.
Sandy Alomar Jr. is not in the top 15 of all time.
Yeah, of course not. This is homer nonsense. I'm not sending him blinds.
I hope Charles Nagy.
Dude, I hope your daughter breaks like 7 more windows between now and the time the show airs.
All right.
Please, no.
Speaking of which,
boom, done.
Bring it home, Joe. Thank you, everybody.
You guys, you know what you need to do. You need to smash the like. Make sure you comment. Please like the page. Please like the episode. Share the episode. We're trying to raise money for my windows in the back of the house here, so please make sure you get that.
You're getting paid starting August 1st, baby.
Locked
in.
Hey, we appreciate all the viewers.
Pulling back that curtain a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little sponsorship money coming in. Is Seawall joining next week or what?
I'll talk to him, but
it's at the National. That may not work.
That's but he'll be on soon.
Okay, and I think we're doing our first live show in Chicago. Is that still the plan? First actually live show, not this premiere thing.
I love it.
I think that's what we're doing. So next week we'll be live.
We need to have calls or something ready to go so people can join. That has to start happening.
Also, look for me in the lobby. Mike's going to give me some packs, and I'm going to be interviewing people on what they hate about the National Card Show. And if they have a good take about what we hate about card shows, I'll be giving packs out right there live.
So if you see a large man approaching your children, don't be it's fine. This is the one time I'd say it's okay.
And next year, nobody gets the ticket.
That's right. Good deal. Good show, boys.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Bye.